I'm Anthony.
And I'm Zane.
And this is Dynamic Buzz. We bring you the latest in comic book news, along with our suggestions of the comics to pick up this week. Today is Tuesday, September 10th, and we got some news for y'all.
We're going to start out with movie news.
Yes, we are.
And the brand new Robocop trailer is out. And actually, it's not disappointing. Even though this is going to be a PG-13 movie, the remake put out its new trailer, and I was impressed.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not easily impressed. It's not going to be quite the satire of hard-boiled American movies and cinema as the first one was, but it's going to be an interesting science fiction take on that same sort of concept for a new summer audience, new audience, and we have a lot of veteran comic book movie actors showing up here.
Yeah.
We've got Joel Kinnaman as Alex Murphy. We've got Gary Oldman as Dr. Dennett Norton, the scientist who creates Robocop. And then we've got Michael Keaton, Batman, as the main villain, the CEO of Omnicorp. And Samuel L. Jackson shows up as Pat Novak, which does not really sound like a name that Samuel L. Jackson would ever have. But apparently he's the media mogul.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see some interesting faces on that. It's going to be a lot of great talent. And I'm excited, even though it's a little bit of a departure. I think it'll be great.
Yeah. Well, we're going to move on to some more remake news. So who here likes Terminator? Do you like Terminator? Do you like remakes?
No.
Well, you're going to be disappointed. Because Thor in the Dark World and Game of Thrones director Alan Taylor.
I do like him.
Yeah, he is in talks to direct a Terminator reboot. I've heard rumors that it's going to be a reboot or it's going to be a add-on.
Are they just going to pull a Star Trek and send it back in time and make it another universe or something?
Technically, they are the only ones who have the potential to do that.
Yeah, they've kind of established the whole idea of alternative universe.
Goes back further into 1970.
You do know that we could just go back and shoot any of the people in the family tree when they're in the crib, right? Maybe.
But yeah, but the only thing that's known about this possible movie right now, since it's just been brought to him that he could direct it or write it, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger will return. So that's we're not even sure we're gonna have this movie yet, but he is already on board to say I will do this. Now, Grant, he didn't come back for the Total Recall reboot, but he is all for coming back for this.
Well, they're gonna have to reconstruct him halfway to get him to move. Dude's old now. Yeah, he's gonna have real robotic parts. I mean, at least his hips, maybe. I don't see that guy doing any of the stunts that he was able to do before. No. I love me some Arnold, but
falls. Get me a stretcher.
Get to the stretcher. Get to the stretcher now. He really needs to pick his priorities.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not enough. He was a governor.
Just not politics.
No, or bastard children.
Ooh, you went there.
I did. All right, we're going to move on to, I feel like we're always reporting on Arrow news. Arrow Season 2 obviously is going to have a special episode where it guest stars The Flash, which will also lead into a Flash ongoing series, which I'm personally excited for, and I think is a great move for DC and CW. Andrew, I'm going to butcher your last name, Kinsberg, told Entertainment Weekly...
It's Kreisberg.
Kreisberg. Wow.
It's German.
Kreisberg.
It's German. It's a Kreisberg.
Wow, that's embarrassing. Andrew Kreisberg told Entertainment Weekly last week that they had 3 prospects for the role of Flash for the season 2. He also said that by September 30th they will cast the person by then because they need to start filming episodes because it's going to be early on that they're going to have to introduce him. Now the people that they have that their prospects are really, really weird. We have James McKay, which he's been in a couple things, but the only thing I could really recognize was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which was an old show. Back wasn't on
That was It was kind of like a Goosebumps sort of serial. It was.
They all sat around a campfire really and they had that the dirt and they threw it on the fire and they told stories.
Yeah.
It was scary as a kid, but so it was Goosebumps at a point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he is being cast for it, and also Matt Blur, who was in the Hatfields and McCoys, which was a History Channel. It was a History Channel series, which was really good and had a great fan base. And if you ask me, out of the next person I'm going to mention, I think he's the best person for it. And finally, we have Grant Gustin, who was on in now 210, and he was in Glee. That kind of speaks for itself. So whenever I think of those two, it's like the two most pretentious douchebag shows.
It's perfect for the Flash.
Cutting it right now. But no, I think Matt Barr.
Matt Barr, yeah.
I think from the looks of him,
I mean, he's the most serious actor that you can really see on that list. But I always see the Flash as sort of a lighter, funny character. So maybe the guy from Glee wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Barry Allen has to be funny, obviously, but also because I know in the Justice League show it was Wally West, and it was like he is the comedic relief, but Barry Allen was more serious. Like he was more insecure than he was, and that's what kind of made him funny. Like,
yeah, no, I could see that. It's weird. Flash is such a weird character because so many people have their interpretations of him more so than Batman.
Yeah,
really, because like Batman's sort of settled down to like 3 or 4 major ideas of what he is. Because basically the movie Batman, all their personalities are all the same.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's there's a formula. Brute. Like all you have to do is be grumpy all the time and have have some kind of deep issue, and also your deeper love for humanity and all that. But there is a formula for Batman. With Flash, there are so many different incarnations, and only a couple worked.
Yeah.
Like I'll say it, the New 52 Flash. Like the story isn't as great as it started out as, but his personality makes sense to me. Like it's not a good story, but the way they designed the character is like, oh, okay, yeah, I see that.
Because I remember, this would have been. These are some issues from like the 70s, and he's just like this prankster character. Like the entire time, there's just really goofy books that are all about him stopping ridiculous crimes that like the prankster is making. Yeah. Like and this guy's like definitely the trickster. Yeah, it's like the trickster and the piper and all the other rogues and stuff. Like things don't really get serious until the 90s when Mirror Master starts doing Blow. So. Yeah.
Do you know that Trickster was voiced by Mark Hamill?
I did know that.
Yeah, and they actually did his face to look like him. Yeah, if you look at the Trickster in the Justice League show, his face it looks just like Mark Hamill. He has even the bump.
The motorcycle bump, yeah. Crazy. It is. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, I feel like whenever we talk about Mark Hamill, we get really serious and like
it's
just like
I mean, you drop some knowledge there, like. Once you say something about Mark Hamill, I just kind of stop. I'm like, yeah.
You have to process it all.
Yeah, I'm filing that one away. Actually, before I came out here, I was just binge watching clips from the Joker on YouTube.
You were?
Yeah. No, I was like, I'm gonna watch the Injustice episode with the Justice League. I really don't like We're getting on a tangent here, folks. Sorry, but I really don't like the design of the Joker from the second series of the Batman animated series.
With the black eyes.
He's got the black eyes and he doesn't have any like lips or anything like that. Yeah. It's just like
he's really plain. No, the one when they brought him back for the Justice League, where he had kind of the body. He wasn't as thick as the Joker was in the first run, but he had the slimmer look of the second run. But he had all this like, he was
darker.
He's darker, and his. He didn't have red lipstick. He had black lipstick, and that just kind of freaked me out. Like that just.
Yeah, it was a lot like the design that they reused for Return of the Joker. Yeah, and I think that's probably the best Joker in media. Period for me. Like that one, either that or the Mask of the Phantasm. But we digress.
Yeah.
In comic book news, nothing. Yeah. There's more stuff about Batwoman.
Let's
DC,
talk about Batwoman.
Okay, I guess. DC is just... I think that they are trying to make it so that this character has more freedom for other writers, but they're not letting her get married to her girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
Like they don't want the Batwoman character to get married. For those who don't know, she's a lesbian. We've been over this like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't care. A lot of people for some reason care that this is happening.
But I also don't feel like and you know, I think we should get this point off since we have a lot of free time now. Is I don't think this was about gay or not. I know there are a lot of people who want, you know, you know, we're colored, so you know, honestly, like people will say, oh, we're gonna jump to a race thing, and you know, I feel like a lot of people are gonna jump onto, oh, okay, so she's a lesbian, so it has to be she's gay. No, same thing with Peter Parker. Peter Parker had a girlfriend who was married, and it didn't work. So it did work.
Hold on.
Okay.
You're going to open a big can of worms there if you bring up one day later.
Okay. All I'm trying to say is, you know, it's like you said, they want to keep it open. And, you know, if they you know, marry her off, then she has to be married for everything. You know, they couldn't bring in another love interest possibly, you know. Or then we have to go through the same thing. Oh, well, she's in love. Divorce. Oh, she's in love. A fight. And it's like, it gets old after a while. Now, if she's dating someone, you know, she could date this person and be with this person, and then, but it just, for the story's sake, I feel like.
Well, the big problem with marriage in comic books, especially, more than anything else, in comic books, is it cancels out a lot of drama. And comic books require sensational drama all the time with characters. It's one of the reasons why Ultimate Spider-Man, even the early Bendis stuff, was so good. It's because it was just dealing with teenage drama and angst. Like, that stuff writes itself.
Yeah.
Everything is the end of the world sort of problem. And you never know, like, whatever is going on. And that it's characteristic of comic books to have that type of drama with interpersonal relationships. Be they friends, be they lovers, be they parents, family, whatever. It's always going to be like that. And when you have a stable marriage in the book, it's not interesting for the readers issue by issue. If they have girlfriends, if they have love interests, if they have affairs, if there are things going on and things going topsy-turvy, that happens. If she got married, it would just be so that they could break them up later on. Like, look what happened with Hank Pym when he got married. They made it so that he was a wife beater.
Yeah.
Look at what happened.
And it destroyed the character.
Yeah, and it made it so that Ultron made a whole lot more sense, though.
It made sense, but then you didn't like Hank Pym.
Oh, no one likes Hank Pym. That guy's crazy.
Yeah, and
I talked about him like he was a real person for a second there.
It's okay. That's my Wonder Woman. That's why I don't like Wonder Woman, because I consider her to be a real person, and she is a trick.
Yeah. But see, I liked what they did with the Spider-Man book when they had him married with Mary, with Mary Jane, because it was actually like, it was a decent marriage. The drama came from her having to deal with being a normal person and all of this weird stuff runoff. Yeah. And they were married for almost 20 years in the book. Something like that. Like, the marriage issue was a long time ago, and then they retconned it away, and it's just because they need to make it so Spider-Man has arrested development and everyone is going to be dealing with teenage issues for the rest of their life because we deify youth.
But the different thing with Spider-Man and with Batwoman is she's in New 52 continuity. So, like, it has to keep going. And with Spider-Man, 20 years, well, there were like 8 stories of Spider-Man going around, where one he was married, another one he wasn't, another one they were still dating. So there was, there was more stuff. And with this, there's one timeline. And you can, I mean, they could ultimately do one-shots of Batwoman, but...
Yeah, like what they're doing with the Robin coming up soon.
Yeah. Because I think, now we're going to get back to, we're going to get onto another tangent, but comic litter. I use the word litter as, they did the first Infinite Crisis was to clean up all their timelines and all their random titles, and they brought the New 52 to redo that again. And then now they're going to do this title, and then they're going to really like it, and they're going to try to bring it in somewhere else or continue on to it. And they're just going to litter themselves, and it's going to be, So,
DC's already doing a really bad job with its comic litter now. It's pretty bad.
Well, see, Villains Month, financially, it's a nightmare. But for the story, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed Forever Evil. I enjoyed,
and I mentioned it last night, my
Joker.
opinion about Forever Evil.
Yeah.
I don't get... Because they've done this before. Because they did this with Villains United. They did, one-shots for villains characters. I don't know why they had to make it the, point one and point twos of the books. Because it's just confusing for readers.
Yeah, I just enjoyed it being Joker one-shot.
Yeah. Whatever happened to one-shots? DC just... They don't do one-shots anymore. None of the companies do one-shots. What is up with that?
I don't know. But if you want to listen to this kind of rant that we had last night during Buzzcast episode 3, there will be a link somewhere along here in this area, this vicinity. All right. Well, like we said, we don't really have any comic book news. We don't have any video game news. It's kind of a dry week, so we'll go on to talk about our crap. We're at 15 minutes already, Zane.
Well, let's knock out these suggestions real quick.
Yeah, all right. Suggestions this week. I have Batman 23.2, The Riddler. Love The Riddler. Could not pick it up. Another suggestion from Marvel is The Mighty Avengers. It's basically the Black Avengers team. I have issues with it, but at the same time, I really like Luke Cage, and see him leading a team. I mean, I feel like he could lead a team of any race. It didn't just have to be all black people and Spider-Man. But, you know what? Who cares? Right now, I'm going to read it and enjoy it. Also, Earth 2, 15.2, Solomon Grundy. I like Earth 2, and I'm kind of excited for it.
Good.
What are you looking forward to this week?
I'll be picking up Red Sonja number 3, because Gail Simone's awesome. She's doing a great job with this recent character, and hey, lesbians? Yeah. Batman Little Gotham, because I love me some Little Gotham. It's just great. I don't know. The series is awesome. And then Mars Attacks Judge Dredd number 1, because one of my favorite artists is working on that, Greg Staples. I'm going to give a big up to him. And Judge Dredd's really entertaining. I'm sorry that I've taken this long to pick it up. And America, you should probably get on board with this one, because, yeah.
But it's going to be funny, because Mars Attacks was a horror comedy, and Judge Dredd was a horror action film.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really... Yeah, it kind of is, but Judge Dredd is satire, dude. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
I didn't think of it that way.
We don't quite look at Judge Dredd in the right sort of light. The Brits don't treat him the way like we think of him. He's not just an action movie. I need to stop myself before I get too much into this, but he's making fun of it. He's kind of like Kick-Ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's not compare it, then I'll stop liking it.
Well, it's not Mark Miller though. Like
okay,
it's
true.
not a goat fucker. Whew, beat me, bleep me. But no, it's good. Trust me on this.
All right. Other highlights to pick up this week will be Action Comics number 23.2, General Zod, Aquaman 23.1, Black Manta, Batman 23.2, The Riddler, Batman and Robin 23.1, Court of Owls, Little Gotham number 6, Batman the Dark Knight issue 23.2, Mr. Freeze, Detective Comics.
Why don't you just say the villains' names?
Okay. Detective Harley Quinn, Solomon Grundy, Reverse Flash.
Now you're not having fun.
No, I'm not having fun. I was having fun focusing and reading. Mogul, Lobo, Killer Frost, Brainiac, Trigon. Red Sonja number 3, Shadow number 17, Mars Attacks Judge Dredd issue number 1, The Sidekicks issue number 2, The Walking Dead issue 114, Avengers number 19, Avengers Arena number 15, Captain America issue 11, Deadpool issue 16, Fantastic Four issue 12, Fearless Defenders issue 9, The Indestructible Hulk issue 13, Infinity the Hunt issue number 1, Kick-Ass 3 issue 3, I guess you can pick that up, Avengers number 1, or Mighty Avengers number 1, sorry, Wolverine number 9, and X-Men number 5. Now, sounds like a pretty fun week.
You know what I just remembered?
What do you remember?
The new Lobo redesign. We haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, go for it.
I mean, have you seen it?
No, I have not. I guess I haven't really.
All right, we'll have to talk about that after you've seen it. So we'll save that one. Bookmark that, folks. We're gonna talk about Lobo next week.
Yep. If you guys haven't heard yet, we're gonna start doing our reviews again every Thursday. So check that out. We also have a little sneak peek video, which you can probably click down here below. It's probably a link somewhere. But yeah, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Zane.
Visit us on our website at www.thedynamicbuzz.com. Also, like us on Facebook. We love getting comments from you guys. And follow us on Twitter. We, enjoy retweets. Also, while you're at it, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel and check out all our awesome videos and reviews.